Broadcasting live from Israel.
IsraelSportsRadio.com.
From the ACI studios in downtown Tapio, Jerusalem, it's Louis Live! Now here's your host, me, Ari Louis. Good evening, everyone out there. It's good to have the music back. It's Louis Live coming at you. 10 p.m. local Israel time. We're here until midnight. We got you on IsraelSportsRadio.com. Hope everyone is having a beautiful night in our nation's capital. It's good to have football back, I'll tell you that. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, they fixed all that lockout hooey-pooey. Got rid of that garbage, that stupidity, the incompetence. Gotta do that to punish me. The dumb-dumbness of that lockout. I don't know. I'm not really sure what we would do if there was a lockout here in the NFL. Our show really wouldn't be that good. But the NBA can lock out all it wants. I don't really care. NFL, baby. We have a great show tonight. This is night 2 of IFL week. We have a couple of great guests. Yeshaya Brill, the Judean Rebels. Coach Betzalel Freeman of the Rebels. Adam Zanu, who played great last season. He had to cut the season short to take some fancy schmancy television job in New York City. Woo, woo, whoopie-doo. Good for you, Adam. No, I'm kidding. I'm jealous. Those TV guys are always better looking than us radio guys. That's what it is. I have a complex about it. So my Emmy-ness is coming out at Adam Zanu, the wrath, the anger, the fire, and I don't want to take it out on the Tel Aviv superstar who played both ways. He played great. My vote for first half MVP, he was tremendous last season. So we'll catch up with Adam Zanu, big conspiracy buff. I love conspiracy theories. I don't necessarily believe in all of them, but I love to talk about them. They expand my mind. They're a lot of fun. And it's kind of a funny thing. It's a goofy thing between different people. Kind of a way we bond, us nerds. Big Benjamin Block, formerly of the Jerusalem Kings last season, the All-IFL center. Of course, his season last year ended prematurely with the injury to his knee. We're going to catch up with Big Benjamin Block and much more. We will talk some NFL as well. I cannot skip the NFL, even for the IFL, because it was opening weekend. There is the Monday night game tonight with the Patriots. I got to be honest with you. I know there's 2 Monday night games tonight, which is weird. I don't like that at all. I hate when tradition is messed with. Tradition! But I don't like it when they do this new stuff. I like tradition to stay even in goyish stuff like sports. But there are 2 Monday night games tonight. Miami hosting New England. So we'll see Reggie Bush and his new team. Taking on the reigning MVP, Tom Terrific, with new cast of characters, Chad Ochocinco and company. By the way, Chad Ochocinco is in my fantasy football lineup. I need him to have 3 or 4 touchdowns. And Wes Welker, who's in Andy Gershman's lineup. I matched against Andy Gershman, so I need Wes to, kind of take it easy, maybe take the game off, something like that, and then I can win against Andy Gershman. The other Monday night game, really not worth mentioning. I'll mention it very quickly. Denver hosts Oakland. That's all I'll talk about. So anyways, Miami's hosting New England, divisional game. Miami doesn't really expect to win the division or compete for the division, but in any case, they're going to get New England twice. First game of the season, they host the Patriots in South Florida, Miami's backyard on South Beach. So congratulations to the Dolphins for being relevant, because Tom Terrific is coming in your city and in your stadium. But outside of that, nobody really cares about you or your team. Now, one more interesting tie between these 2 ball clubs. You have Bill Parcells, who used to coach the Patriots working with the Dolphins, but Parcells has been with a lot of different teams, not such a big deal. Probably a couple other inside stories, but we got to get to the games yesterday. Goodness gracious, there was a little of everything. There was a lot of surprises. I want to go through some of these scores. I was watching the games at Hagov, one of our fine sponsors here at Israel Sports Radio. Had a great time chatting up with some of the Giants and Jets fans. It's funny, Andy Gershman made a great point that these Giant fans, as soon as the game ended, became Jets fans and said, oh, well, it's New York. And sometimes, by the way, the Mets fans do that at the end of the season when the Mets don't make the playoffs. You'll see that this year, that they'll hop over and root for the Yankees in the playoffs. They do that to some degree. Probably with the Mets and Yankees, if you have 100 New Yorkers, and really 1 is too many, so I apologize for putting out 100 to you. That kind of it hurts my mind. It hurts just to think about 100 New Yorkers talking and whining and complaining about their coffee and all the stupid stuff. But in any case, if you have 100 New Yorkers, mathematically, 25 are Yankees fans, 25 are Mets fans, and 50 are probably both when you really get down to it. When you get down to it, that if the Mets are in the playoffs, they root for the Yankees, vice versa. the 25 and 25 aren't Mets fans, aren't Yankees fans, will not root for the other ball club. In Yankee Stadium, by the way, I was in Yankee Stadium in 2002, had a wonderful time, was ripped off by a scalper. I think we paid $250 for three $8 seats in the bleachers, boiling hot outside, no real back on the chair, very uncomfortable, and it was a beautiful New York experience. Nothing like getting ripped off and feeling uncomfortable. But in Yankee Stadium, I noticed they do not sell any Mets gear, no Mets hats, uniforms, shirts, whatever. And I was at Shea Stadium. I love Shea Stadium, by the way. Of course, now it's Citi Field. They ripped down Shea Stadium. A lot of people complain about Shea because of the airport and the noise level. I thought it was great. It's a beautiful ballpark. I love the playgrounds in the background for the kiddies. You saw the highway out in the background. So Shea Stadium, a great place. But again, in Shea Stadium, they did not sell Yankees hats, shirts, jerseys, all that kind of stuff. So it seemed to be pretty ardent that both ball clubs didn't like each other. And even in Yankee Stadium, they sold Red Sox gear. Although I remember a guy who wearing Red Sox gear walking in the stands in our section getting booed, which is cool. That's good old New York. In Phoenix, they don't do that stuff because they just kind of fall asleep. Like in Phoenix, if someone walks around with a Dodgers cap or a Giants cap, everyone's asleep, so it doesn't really matter. But I digress. Let's talk about the scores that happened yesterday. A lot of surprises. Let's take this out through. The biggest surprise, in my opinion, is Chicago's whooping of Atlanta, 30-12. Now, Chicago played for the NFC title last year. The number 2 seed, Atlanta was the number 1 seed. But most experts like myself, the real smart people, think the Bears ain't going anywhere, and they're missing the playoffs. A lot of people think Atlanta will go right back to the 1 seed. I had Atlanta winning the game, and obviously that was a big upset in my opinion. Detroit, I was correct. I believe I think the score I had was very close to the 27-20 finale. I thought Detroit would win by a touchdown. We'll have to get John the intern to take a look at the scores that me and Dave Flagger made on Thursday and compare the final results. Jacksonville beats Tennessee by 2 points. We knew there would be some issues with Jacksonville with the whole David Garrard situation, but they pull through 16-14. Cincinnati beats Cleveland Browns 27-17. Very, very surprised. That was also a surprise game. I thought, even though as bad as the Browns have been, and they'd be lucky to get to 5 wins this season, the Bengals are an absolute mess. Carson Palmer's no longer with the ball club, neither is Chad Ochocinco. I don't know how the heck they got that done, but they did, 27-17. Baltimore beats Pittsburgh 35-7. Now, I had this game. I said Baltimore would win. Flacco finally beats Big Ben Roethlisberger, and I picked Baltimore to go to the playoffs, and Pittsburgh has the good old-fashioned did not win the Super Bowl last year, but was in the Super Bowl, and now they're not going to make the playoffs. That trend tends to happen. I believe it's 8 out of the last 10 years, something to that effect. I think it'll continue again this year. Pittsburgh's not making the playoffs, but I didn't think they would be blown out. I thought Baltimore would win the game by a touchdown. Houston beats Indianapolis, and there you go. I don't think too many people were shocked when they found out number 18 was missing game 1 of the season. I had Houston winning. Did not think it'd be 34-7. But Houston defense, which I do have in my fantasy football pool, they get a touchdown, so very happy about that. And again, it goes to show you that Peyton Manning's won 4 MVPs. He may not win the MVP every year of his career, but he really is the MVP every year. I mean, you see it right there. That's the one guy, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. That's the one guy that if you take him off the ball club, it is a totally different team. You're talking about a team that could compete for the Super Bowl, and if things go the way they are, they'd be lucky to get 3-4 wins. It's funny, I was speaking with the loudmouth New Yorker last night, and really that's a redundant sentence. But nevertheless, he was an Eli Manning apologist. He said the reason why Manning had all those interceptions last year, why he led the league in interceptions, was due to his rookie wide receivers that kept dropping the ball. And he then went on to make fun of Rex Ryan, saying if Rex Ryan was smart and truly wanted to win a championship, he would take his win-now team and give them a veteran quarterback like Kerry Collins. He actually said Kerry Collins. I go, did you not see what Kerry Collins did today? He said Kerry Collins was good a few years ago. I think Kerry Collins of this year and Kerry Collins 2 years ago was probably about the same. That's just, my humble opinion there. The Colts get absolutely shellacked, destroyed, murdered, crushed, any other words you want to say. So that's the ball game there. Houston 34-7. And we'll try to analyze some of these games if we have some time. New York Giants lose 28-14. Rex Grossman getting it together. had a couple of touchdowns, outplayed Eli Manning. What a shocker. Really the key play, I believe in the early fourth, the Washington fumbles. Giants had a chance to return it for a touchdown. They did not. They get to the 30-yard line, and they end up kicking a field goal. First of all, you shouldn't even have to be in a situation to kick a field goal at that point. You're down 21-14. You got to tie the game up. No question about it. Got to tie the ball game up. But they do not even get a touchdown. Let me back that up. Not only did not get a touchdown, they kick a field goal on fourth down, and it is blocked. And right there, the game was over. That was that. Redskins march down, tack on another touchdown, and they win again 28-14 over their rivals. A big 9/11 game. Obviously, both cities affected on 9/11. Pentagon destroyed, Pentagon hit by the terrorists, and obviously the Twin Towers in New York City. So big game there. Washington pulls ahead and gets the victory. Our good friend Andy Gershman, Andy from the East Coast, now working for the Redskins. That's got to eat him inside. That's got to eat him inside. No doubt about it. We'll have to get in touch with Andy later on about that. Maybe not tonight, but later on in this week. San Diego, Cali Dave San Diego beats the Minnesota Vikings 24-17. So I guess Cali Dave won't be moving this week, and he'll probably call in to brag about the Chargers. Game looked pretty close. Obviously, the game was close. The game looked very in doubt for San Diego, who is the chic pick by a lot of people to go to the Super Bowl with their number one ranked offense, number one ranked defense most of last season, and they just barely pulled us out 24-17. My Arizona Cardinals win. Yes. 28-21. Be proud, Cardinals. You beat the 1-15 Carolina Panthers last season. And I got to tell you, Cam Newton played very, very well. He starts his first game as rookie year. A lot of times with quarterbacks, it's the rookie year, they sit out the entire year and just learn. And Cam Newton gets the reins right away for Carolina, plays well, even in the losing effort. San Francisco beats Seattle 33-17. That was another surprise, in my opinion. I thought Seattle would walk away with the victory. But as a Cardinals fan, probably happier with that. I think Seattle is more the dangerous foe than San Francisco in competition with the division, as Seattle is the defending NFC West champions, even though they were 7-9. And, of course, my other division foe, St. Louis, losing 31-13 to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, another chic pick to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC. And, of course, Green Bay beat New Orleans 42-34. I had that about right. I thought Green Bay would win by a touchdown. Drew Brees did play great. I had him in my fantasy pool, so happy about that. Buffalo beats Kansas City 41-17. I did have Buffalo winning, obviously not by that margin. I didn't really call too many blowouts on Thursday night. I had a couple of games that the victor won by 2 touchdowns. And, of course, you'd be remiss not to speak about last night's Dallas Cowboys debacle, spoken about on Dallas Cowboy airwaves and Dallas Sports Talk throughout the land, as the Jets are victorious 27-14, despite the fact that they were down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Tony Romo shows that he's a great quarterback in between the 20s. It shows he's a great quarterback for 3.5 quarters, but cannot get it done at the end. To review, again in the fourth quarter, down 2 touchdowns. Felix Jones rushes on their drive to 1 yard to get the touchdown. Mark Sanchez gives to Plaxico Burress. Again, Plaxico Burress, we talked about that. I said that he was going to be a nice addition to the Jets. He gets a 26-yard touchdown pass from Mark Sanchez. Sanchez only in his 3rd year. Again, people forget because he's had the 2 appearances in the AFC title game, and I don't think there's anything wrong with Mark right now. He's going to have a pretty good year, a good breakout year. That made it 24-17, and of course, wait a minute, am I doing math correctly here? Yes, 24-17. Does that sound right? Might need some help on that. Okay, let's see here. 17-10, 24-10. I'm sorry, let me get it. Sorry, Felix Jones rushes, give the Cowboys 24-10 lead. 2 touchdowns, 2-touchdown lead for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, Mark Sanchez then cuts that lead in half by throwing to Plaxico Burress. The Jets block a punt, and they return that for a touchdown. So it's 24-24, and Nick Folk kicks a 50-yard field goal, showing he's one of the best kickers in the National Football League, and the Jets win. Jets, 27-24. And again, the Jets are my pick to go to the Super Bowl and win it. We may catch up with Big Mike later on in tonight's program or in the week. I'm sure he will mention this once or twice. By the way, again, this is an idea about the difference between Romo and Sanchez. Romo's quarterback rating actually higher than Sanchez's, 101.9. Mark Sanchez is only 88.7, but gets the job done in the fourth quarter, connects with Plaxico Burress. Both quarterbacks had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Both completed over 23 completions, but Mark Sanchez needed 8 more attempts. Sanchez 26 of 44, Romo 23 of 36. So I'm a little confused why the rating is that, why it's 13 points, but I guess those extra attempts there. So that's that as far as talking about the scores. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back after this. Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Mojave says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Back here on Lewis Live. Now, I wanted to go over some of the box scores from some of the ball games before we have Coach Marcelo Freeman of the Judean Rebels on the program. So, I'll tell you like this. You want to first we'll go with the Sunday night game. And try to pick, the game, very, very even game, obviously 3-point game for the Jets victorious. First thing, advantage for the Dallas Cowboys, time and possession. 7 more minutes for the Cowboys. Total yards, 30 more for the Cowboys, not that significant. First downs about the same. Cowboys 21, Jets 19. Turnovers, and again, generally a team that commits less turnovers wins. Jets 2, Cowboys 3, and the block punt being the difference in the game. Passing, very interesting that passing to get the first downs, 18 apiece for both squads. I mean, you're just looking through these stats, and it's such a similar game. Net yards about the same, 326 for Dallas, 315 for the New York Jets. They both punt 6 times. The average punt, this is unbelievable. Dallas Cowboys 39.3, the Jets 39.8. Penalties. Now, this is tremendous. This shows you how well Rex Ryan coaches his squad, that the Jets are a very well-coached team. and he does a great job. And this is truly an excellent stat. Dallas Cowboys, 7 penalties. JTS, Jets, 0. No penalties in the ballgame for the Jets. Truly magnificent performance by the Jets in that regard, and incredible that Rex Ryan gets that done. Dallas Cowboys had 7 penalties for 40 yards. Fumbles, 3 apiece. But Jets only lose 1, Cowboys lose 2. So very close game, and you see the difference mainly in the turnovers. 1 extra turnover for Dallas was the game. 7 extra penalties, 7-0 in the penalty department. Other than that, it's about the same. The Cowboys even have a few advantages, such as time and possession, but other than that, it's about the same. It's very, very kind of that freak play at the block punt, turned it all around. So Cowboys go 0-1. Some people have the Cowboys going to the playoffs, potentially doing some damage. I did not. I don't think they'll make the postseason this season, but I do have the Jets going to the Super Bowl and winning it. And right now they start out 1-0. Let's go on to some other ball games. I'm a little biased, so we're going to the Arizona game because I feel like, and this is my show, this is Louis Live, of course. The game played in University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Cam Newton, let's start with him. Great game for Cam. Unbelievable. 24 for 37, over 400 yards, 422. Completion percentage 64.9. He was sacked 4 times. Threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Quarterback rating of 110.4. Wow. But he was outdone by Kevin Kolb. 18 of 27. Only 309 yards, so 100 and some change less than Cam Newton. Percentage a little bit higher, 66.7, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Thus, his QB rating 130. Look at these receivers. I want to start. Well, basically, I got to look at how my guy did, Larry Fitzgerald. No touchdowns for Larry Fitz. Three catches for 62 yards. Now, early Dossett. Yeah, how many people out there could say they had early Dossett in their fantasy football pool? Their team were drafted early Dossett. 3 catches for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. But guess what? That's due to Larry Fitz. You have to double on Larry. You have to double on Mr. Fitz. That left early. Okay, there's a reason why we haven't heard of early Dossett before. No offense to early. Okay, I don't care early, late, whatever. Early Dossett is 26 years old. He's about to be 26. From New Iberville, Louisiana. Went to LSU. Drafted in 2008. Yeah, I haven't heard of this guy. He's been on the Cardinals for 3 years. I haven't heard of him. Here are early stats last season. The entire 2010 season, 10 games, 1 touchdown. 2009, 9 games, 1 touchdown. This season, 1 game, 1 touchdown. So there you go, doubling on Larry Fitz. Now you could say, well, they doubled on Larry Fitz last season. Well, no, you're incorrect. They triple teamed him, but they didn't have a quarterback. Now they do, Kevin Kolb. And they win, of course, 28-21. Some of the other stats to look at running-wise for the Cardinals, and this is a little Cardinals heavy because, again, I kind of feel like doing that. And again, they have to have some type of balance to set up those passes to Larry Fitz. Beanie Wells, 18 attempts for 90 yards. Good game. If you get 100 yards out of a running back, you're very, very happy with that. 1 touchdown, a long of 22 yards. LeRod Stevens holding 10 yards. So got 100 yards out of the running backs. Very happy with that. Cam Newton himself rushed 18 yards, which isn't bad. Had 1 touchdown. D'Angelo Williams, 30 yards. That's not good. And you can't be happy about that if you're a Carolina fan. Jonathan Stewart, 26 yards. So 56 yards out of the 2 running backs, not going to get it done. They were lucky they had this game even close. Now, comparing the stats, Carolina's got some huge advantages here. 26-15 in the first downs department, 477 total yards, 394, same amount of turnovers, and about 5 minutes more in time of possession. And you're going over to the turnover department. Cardinals actually 2 fumbles. They lose 1. So interesting, the Cardinals were victorious. Generally, like I mentioned, the team that loses has more turnovers tends to lose. And let's see here. Intercepted. Okay, and of course the Cardinals had 1 interception. So turnovers actually, if you go by fumbles loss and actual interceptions, then it is the same. So there you go. And the Cardinals were down 21-14 in the 4th. Kevin Kolb again passed to early Dossett, 70 yards for the score, and Patrick Peterson returned Jason Baker's punt 89 yards for the go-ahead score as they win 28-21. Let's go over one more game. I got to go to this Colts game because that was just an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster in Houston. And Houston's been, Indianapolis is, I don't know, I want to say the B word, but I can't say that. It's family radio. But for a long time, and they're starting to make their statement. Andre Johnson, a lot of people had him in their fantasy pool, drafted him. I can't blame you for that. Houston is my dark horse to the playoffs, by the way. And some people had Reggie Wayne as well. Reggie Wayne, 7 receptions, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. Andre Johnson, 7 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Both receivers there played very well. Heel Racker's former Cardinal started the game with kicking a field goal. They win, of course, 34-7. And goodness gracious, they get that kind of a garbage touchdown in the fourth. It was 34-0 for a long time. Long time. I'll tell you that. Wow. Let's see. Let's look over this stat sheet here. Texans 26-15 first downs, 384 to 236 in total yards, 3-2 in turnovers. Actually, have more turnovers to still win. Time possession 36 minutes 44 seconds to 23 minutes and 16 seconds. 13 more minutes, almost a full quarter more. Just about there. Wow. So let's look at the quarterbacks. Obviously, Kerry Collins actually has a better quarterback rating than Matt Schaub. I don't even know how that's possible. 16 for 31, dismal 197 yards. Schaub, 220 out of 17 for 24. Both had 1 touchdown. Against Schaub, 2 interceptions. Kerry Collins, 0. I try to pinpoint where Houston got this huge advantage, and mostly time of possession, it appears. And you had Jacoby Jones run 79 yards for a punt return. So you're having a lot of these returns for touchdowns this weekend in the National Football League. And let's go to the running backs real quick. Go to rushing stats before we take a commercial break and bring on Batsala Freeman. So Joseph Adai, 39 yards and 8 carries, 25 on 7 carries for DeLone Carter. That's not good for anybody, even for the Colts, because generally at Peyton Manning doesn't matter, but it matters this time. And that's not going to get it done. That's not good. That's 64 yards on 15 carries. So got to feel a little queasy there for the Texans. And this is where you really see their strength. Ben Tate, 116 yards on 24 rushes, 1 touchdown. Derek Ward, 39 on 11 carries for 1 touchdown. Again, 2 touchdowns out of the running back department, and you're having over 160 yards. About 160. Good, 35 rushes, so you're milking the clock, and that's something you want to see if you're a fan of your team. You want your team to milk that clock. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, Batsala Freeman, the head coach of the Judean Rebels, after this.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in FIT. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Connie is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Connie can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Connie has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email connie@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.conniesgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248, or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Now, back here on Louis Live, proud to present the head coach of the IFL champion Judean Rebels, that'd be Betzalel Freeman. Betzalel, how you doing tonight?
Thank God. How are you, Ari?
Doing great. The music must be sweet to your ears, I imagine.
It is. It definitely brings a smile because, you know, being so far into this coming season, you kind of forget that happens.
Right, and it's good to be reminded of that. Obviously, you don't want to just simply rest on the laurels of last season, but the team deserves to be rewarded and given credit for what they did last year. So a couple of things I want to get to right away. Now, you just came from practice. How is practice going so far? Obviously, you're having a lot of changes. Alex Sweka is not back. He's in the United States. A couple players have gone back to the States as well. So talk about some of the changes and how you're adjusting as head coach.
Well, it's definitely, there is some turnover. I think every team in this league has turnover, given the nature of it, you know, no contracts and all that. So, you know, it's coming along. You know, things are fitting together. You know, we got some key guys back. I mean, not having to worry about the quarterback position is a blessing.
Sure.
So things are looking good. Things are looking positive.
Let's talk about the quarterback position. You have Johnny Joe, who was the All-IFL quarterback 2 years ago, and really in a spirit of team leadership and what's best for the team, moved over to wide receiver to give Alex the quarterback position. Now he goes back to being under center. So talk about Johnny Joe's leadership to the ball club.
Well, there's no question about him. He's an important figure to have on the field, wherever. Be it at linebacker, corner. My battery's about to die, so if you lose me, you know why that's happening.
Okay.
But Joe is just a great player, great athlete, and a great person to have around.
All right, now since the phone that might die, let's do the hardball stuff right now. I'll let you. I want to give you some time to answer this. I asked Uriel Stern why there is no banquet. First time there hasn't been a banquet, and your team was the team that won this year. No awards given out as of yet. Many people thought Alex won the MVP. So I'd like to know your thoughts as head coach of the Rebels. What do you think of the situation?
Well, Uriel told me things didn't work out for technical reasons, and I believe him.
Okay.
I have no reason not to. It would have been nice to get, you know, awards and everything. But it is what it is, you know. It happens. You don't cry over spilt milk.
All right, well said. There you go. So this season, again, you'll be in the South Division, competing with the Keens Lions, Beersheba, and so on. And it's going to be a little difficult because a lot of the defensive stars, the Elion brothers, back to the United States. Have you noticed so far guys stepping up, saying, hey, now there's a couple open spots. You had such a big squad last year. A lot of guys couldn't get playing time, and now they're going to have a chance, perhaps, to play because the Elions are in the United States.
Well, for sure. Definitely, you know, step it up. That's what you got to do at every level. And, you know, that's just what you got to do.
But so I want you to talk about your transition. You played under Coach Ty Rogers, and then you took over as coach. We know Joe Glickman is doing that with the Troopers. He played 2 years as a member of the Sabres, then took over as coach. When you were playing under Coach Rogers, did he ever come up to you and say, hey, one day you're going to be a coach, you have a coach's mind?
He didn't. He didn't, but, I learned a lot from him. I think everyone, at every place you are, you learn a lot from the people you're with. Now, sometimes it's, learning what to do, and sometimes it's learning what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, I learned a lot, and I'm grateful for all I learned from him.
And, of course, Coach Rogers was somewhat part of the team. He came in last season for the title game. How are you able to do that? Because, obviously you want the players to know you're the coach, you're in charge, and he came in, kind of helped with some of the practice. So how are you able to maintain that you're the boss and you were calling the shots?
Well, he didn't come in, with saying I'm the boss of my team. He came in and he was able to help more in terms of, organizing stuff and giving, specific players specific positional tips. He really didn't come in saying this is my team. So, he knew that I was in charge, and that's what he broadcast. So there was never really an issue.
Okay, so for those who want to know, there you go. There's the answer. I asked Joe Klickman this last night. I want to ask this as well because you certainly have a very extensive military background, and a lot of times football is compared to the military, rightly or wrongly, whatever people's opinions are. I want to get your comparison. Obviously, at the end of the game, you're shaking hands with your opponent. We're not at that place at the end of war, but there is a similarity in that both in the military and in football, you are working together to achieve a goal. So I wanted to get your perspective on the similarities between football and the military.
Well, I see two specific things that are the same, and one is, as you said, the camaraderie and working together and being part of a team. And in that same breath, everyone has a specific job, and not everyone can do every job, but you need all jobs taken care of. That's one aspect, camaraderie and working as a team. The other aspect is more of a strategic / tactical issue. For those who don't know, strategy is something higher than tactics. Strategy is the what, and tactics are the how. So I think that has a lot in common. But that's more for like the coaches and and the quarterbacks. Maybe the middle linebacker. It's not really something that affects really every player.
I like that. Well said. Strategy is ahead of the technical stuff. I like that a lot.
Strategy is what, tactic is how.
Good stuff. As far as becoming a coach, were certain guys you admired growing up and you kind of followed their style? Who was the guy you looked up to?
Well, since I didn't play organized sports since I made Aliyah in 5th grade, really the only head coach I had was Coach Rogers.
Wow.
And I learned a lot of things, about, running a football team that year. Some things that I knew I wanted to do, some things I knew I didn't want to do, or something I wanted not to do.
Well, what about in regards to professional coaches? You watch in the NFL and you see a guy like Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick and say, hey, I like what he does, I want to be like him. Were any pro coaches you followed and liked?
It's a good question. I mean, Tony Dungy was someone I looked at. I want to be like that guy. A different god, but...
Right. I mean, Tony Dungy's got a very interesting because he has a quiet demeanor. He's a very nice guy. I think he and his players, the whole organization, doesn't swear. I mean, the Colts organization is very, very classy, and you're obviously a big fan of the Colts from your background from Indiana, correct?
Correct.
In fact, I recall before the South Division game wearing a South Division championship T-shirt of the Colts and pointing to my partner Andy Gershman and saying that I think this is for you.
That is very true.
I love that. That was obviously a lot of fun, and I was a little nervous when you guys were down by 18 points in the fourth about my prediction, but you pulled through and made me look good, so that's definitely what counts at the end. Now, Zach Miller was the IFL championship MVP last year. Is Zach back with the ball club?
Zach is back.
Okay, Zach is back, and he played great, especially down the stretch, and with John Millar not being on the club this year, not in the country, how much are you going to rely on Zach this season?
Well, we have Zach. We have another pickup at running back who we're expecting to pick up some of the slack for Barbados. So I like what I have at the running back.
Okay, excellent. And, of course, obviously you have a running quarterback as well, both running and passing, so the running attack looks pretty solid. Do you keep an eye also on what some of the movements of the other teams, teams are going to have to face, or is your focus just on what the Rebels have to do in Rebel business?
Well, right now, there are things that people know, Ashkenazi and Idan Yaron, but no, I don't know, who anyone else recruited. That's something, when we get to scouting games and watching tape, that's stuff we're going to be looking at. Right now, we're not working against any team's, defense or against any team's offense.
Okay, I hear that. Now, this season, the league expands to 10 teams. Last year, there was a team added, so now you have a pretty good expansion. It's happened pretty quickly. Some people have made the comment to me that maybe they think the league is expanding too fast, and then the players maybe aren't ready to play, but they now have the opportunity because there are more teams. Some people like the expansion and how fast it's growing. What are your thoughts of the expansion of the IFL?
I think now it's good. I don't think the league should go beyond 12 teams anywhere in the near future, and I don't think they'll go past 10 teams next season. I think they're going to stay with 10, and or at least that's what I would do, and work on building up the existing teams.
Okay, and one last question before I let you go. If anybody out there wants to join the Judean Rebels, or try out for the Rebels, tell them how they can get in touch with you and come out to some tryouts.
Well, look us up on Facebook, Judean Rebels, or just call me, 054-925-4800.
And, of course, all the games that IFL, anyone's out there listening, none of them are played on Shabbat. So if you're Shomer Shabbat and concerned about that, that's not an issue. And any games that are on Motzi Shabbat, the Rebels do not leave on Shabbat. They will wait till Shabbat is over, correct?
Probably about an hour after Shabbat is over.
Okay, an hour after Shabbat is over. So in case anyone, because I've been getting some of those questions and comments, so that certainly is answered. But Salo, congratulations on winning the championship last season. Good luck this year, and look forward to seeing you out the field real soon.
Thank you. Looking forward to see you too.
Absolutely. Take care.
Good night.
That was Coach Batsalo Freeman of the Judean Rebels. We'll take a commercial break, and we come back. Yeshaya Brill, number 40 of the Judean Rebels, hopefully, after this.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midrashat Devorah, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midrashatdevorah.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midrashat Devorah, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
All right, back here on Louis Live, and I tell you, before I introduce my next guest, I got to do this because, you know, he's going to do it anyway, so everyone take a listen to me. It's a fireman. So, Fireman Ed with the JTS Jets, and on the line now, proud New Yorker, proud Jets fan, number 40 from the Judean Rebels, Yishai Brill. Mr. Brill, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing? And hold on. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan. Let's get that straight.
I know. I
was rooting for the Jets yesterday, and I'm happy they beat the Cowboys for many reasons, not just for the NFC East, but also, you know, like I said on Facebook, 9/11. But other than that, I hope the Jets go 1-15. All right.
I didn't do that to teach a little bit, but I'll tell you what, you did bring this up on Facebook and just now. Talk about that, the importance, because it was 9/11, of the New York teams winning. The Giants obviously didn't, but talk about how you thought that if you weren't a fan, let's say the Redskins or the Cowboys, that you should be a fan of the New York teams.
The reason I felt that way is just because a lot of Giants and Jets fans are, you know, firemen, are, you know, police officers, are people that were, you know, touched by 9/11 and affected by it, and, you know, not just them but their families. And if, you know, like, and everyone said after 9/11, one of the things that, like, helped them, you know, feel normal again was watching sports, watching people play baseball, watching people play football.
Right.
You know, I remember when Piazza hit that home run against the Braves, the grand slam. It got a little dusty in the room just because, you know, he was wearing that FDNY hat. You know, like you could see how much it meant to the entire city. And, you know, once again, 10 years later, I mean, to put a smile on anyone's face that's, you know, that's having a tough day that day is, you know, I think it's a good thing. So
in fact, is it true that some of the Braves players were happy he hit the home run?
Yes, it was. Some, you know, like a lot of them said that, you know, like it was bigger than baseball. It was bigger than the pennant race. You know, like you could see, you know, how happy the Mets fans at the stadium and around, you know, around New York were, and, you know, like it definitely helped boost morale throughout the city.
You know, I'm not a New Yorker, but I have a goosebumps thinking about it. It was a tremendous moment when Piazza did hit the home run. And the games were good games yesterday, more or less. I know it was a 2-touchdown deficit for the Giants, but the game was close in the fourth, and as a fan, that's certainly something you want as well. Going to the IFL, of course, the Rebels are the defending champions.
We are? Wait a second. Wait, we're the defending champions? You would not know. I'm surprised. This is the first I've heard of that, because this offseason, I haven't heard anything that the Rebels won the championship. So if we're the champions, you know, that's good, but, you know, this year's a new year, so last year doesn't really matter either way.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'll leave the door open for you if you want to take that bait. Any comments? I had Uriel Sturm on last night, and any comments you want to make to what Uriel said, the commissioner?
You know what? It's all in good fun. It would have been nice to have a banquet, or, you know, have something to honor last season and to you know, kind of commemorate, you know, what a great season it was and look back and reflect. But it didn't happen. It's over and done with. It's not going to help us win any games this year. You know, we appreciate the championship shirts that the Israel Sports Radio made for us, but I refuse to wear one this year because last year is over and it's a new year.
Interesting. Okay, because there's different schools of thought. Some is the confidence from last season, the stature, that kind of thing could propel you. But you're the thinking, a lot of champions are as well, that if you think about last season too much and rest on your laurels, that you'll not be 100% hungry or focused this season. So that seems to be your school of thought.
Last season's championship does nothing to help us win games this year. All it does is paint a bullseye on our back. And for every team, you know, of course they're going to give us their best game because we're the Rebels, but they're also going to give us the best game because, you know, when you look back and say, hey, you know, we beat last year's champions, that, you know, I hope that doesn't happen, but that's, you know, that's of course a good feeling. So we know that, you know, we're going to be getting every team's best game, and, you know, we look forward to it, and, you know, we're just going to have to give our best effort too, and
may the best man win.
And in any case, in many respects, it's a different team anyway. You have Alex Sweck in the United States, the Elions in the States as well. Asked Coach Pizzella Freeman about this. What are your thoughts? You have Johnny Joe back under center, but replacing the defense is going to be difficult, no easy task. So what do the Rebels plan to do to replace the Elions?
Well, first of all, you can't replace an Alex Swiecka. You can't replace a Mike Swiecka. You can't replace, Simba Booya or Moose, the Lion brothers. You can only hope to, those were all great, individual players and team players. We all just need to come together as a team. Football more than any other sport, in the NFL it's 11-11, in the IFL it's 8-on-8. And we 8 players need to come together as a team and, do our best to pick up the slack. Everyone needs to do it a little bit more because we lost, 3 IFL Pro Bowlers on defense and, a couple of IFL Pro Bowlers and the MVP on offense. I have all the faith in the world in Johnny Joe the Dragon Show Martitius. He's, like I said, I still think that he, I think that he might have even been the second best quarterback in the league last year after Alex Swiecka. No offense to Itai or Adi or anyone else. They're all good and whatnot. But I take Johnny Joe any day of the week.
Dragon Show?
I don't know if you saw the article that he was in. He was in an article that he and Barria were interviewed for, and out of nowhere, Barria told the writer that Joe's nicknames on the team are the Show and the Dragon, which was news to everyone.
Yes.
So I decided that from then on in, Johnny Joe the Dragon Show would be his new name, and that's what he wants to call himself. He's a ginger. He's crazy to begin with, so, he can do what he wants.
Mr. Brill, I think that Barria's been drinking some of that Barria juice again. That's what I think.
You know what? Barria's an interesting individual.
Yes.
If you know Barria, you love him. And, that's just Barria. He's a rebel. He bleeds green and orange, and we love him. And Barria's just going to be Barria.
Apparently, because Johnny Joe told me last season, before the playoffs started, that he wanted to be called Johnny Joe El Dorado. And I did oblige on the air. I called him El Dorado whenever he make a play. So he's switching nicknames on me pretty quick. I guess Barria switched it for him, it sounds like.
Listen, this year I think his nickname after the season is going to be MVP.
Ooh.
But that's my first bold prediction for the IFL season. But whatever anyone wants to call him, they can call him. We call him QB1, and he's one of our leaders, and that's that.
It'll certainly be entertaining to watch Johnny Joe out behind center. I certainly had a great time last season when whenever a play would break down, it seemed to be to JJ's advantage, so you would scramble around. Now, Mr. Brill, any chance you're playing offense this season, or is it all defense?
No, I do not want to play offense at all. I have no desire to play offense. Offense, you get hit. And as much as, I'll play some, kick return and stuff like that, and if I get hit there, that's fine, but I prefer to do the hitting. And, I think I'm going to stick with defense. I don't know, I let the offensive guys get the glory.
I like that philosophy. Do the hitting and don't get hit. That makes a lot of sense. So, no... by the way, we'll talk about this in a moment, but now in special teams, do you sometimes you play special teams on the kickoff coverage, not to return it, but to make the tackles once in a while, right?
Yep. And I'm also on the hands team as far as if there's an onside kick, up to me, I guess, whether or not we get the ball. So
now, and again, just to review, in case there's any issues, because it was brought as a question, the onside kick in the South Division title game was intentional, correct?
I swear to you, it was intentional. Ari, you know me. If it wasn't intentional, I would tell you. I guess because it looked so perfect, it looked like it was unintentional. But if you ask Jason Hess, Morty Trifus, Barbados, Vitallo, any of those guys, any guys that play special teams, we all know that we called it, because years of playing Madden have taught me that, how to work the clock and whatnot. And I knew with about 7 minutes to go in the game, the way their running game was working, that we needed to surprise them. We needed the ball back, and it was now or never. So, and, apparently it worked. The rest is history,
Well, now, was that, by the way, because I remember there was a discussion of whose idea it was. Was it your idea or Batsallo's idea, or who came up with the idea?
I'm not going to throw my coach under the bus. It's the buck stops with him. The wins and losses go under his name, so Batalla Freeman can take all the credit.
All right, I like that wink. Okay, very good. Well, again, the Madden certainly helped out there. That was a great ball game and one of the best in IFL's history. So, basically, with the Giants losing, is that going to distract you and the other Giant fans on the squad?
No, it's not, because I'm a realist. I've been a Giants fan for a long time, and to be honest with you, I hope we tank the season. Andrew Luck is looking really good. I know Eli Manning is supposed to be a top. I went over this with my friends. He's maybe a top 10 quarterback. It depends if you want to go for potential or not. But I'd much rather have Andrew Luck back there. You play to win the Super Bowl. I know Herm Edwards said you play to win the game, and that's nice. But I want to win the Super Bowl. You're measured by Super Bowl titles, and with the team we have right now, with all the injuries, we're not going to win the Super Bowl. So let's give the young guys a chance to play. See who can play, see who can't. Try to stay as healthy as possible, and 2012 as long as the world doesn't end, take the Super Bowl home.
I was watching the Giants game at Hagove last night, and I commented that Eli Manning was the most overrated, most overpaid quarterback, because he was the number one highest paid quarterback last season and had the most interceptions. And a Giants fan came over to me and said, "Hey man, I've seen every Giants game in the last 4 years, and the interceptions last year, probably 12 to 13, not his fault, kind of cradled out the receiver's hands, and you can't blame Eli." What are your thoughts about all that?
Listen, Eli, like I said to Big Mike on the New York sports show that you guys do on Israel Sports Radio, I will give Eli credit. He is in the exclusive club of Super Bowl winners.
Sure.
He does have a ring. No Jets quarterback since John Namath can say that. Or Joe Namath, pardon me. Oh, God. What a brain fart. No Jets quarterback can say that, so take that, Jets fans. But as far as, how much faith do I have in him, I know it's tough to play in Giant Stadium with the wind swirling. It'll always be Giant Stadium. I don't care what you want to call it. I understand that, but I really don't think the Giants have faith in him. I don't think they play for him the way that you'd want to play for a quarterback. I think if you put him in a dome, if he was the Lions quarterback, I think that he'd be easily a top 10 quarterback and a great quarterback. But to work and to play in that kind of weather, I don't think it's right for Eli. So he's done his job. He won a Super Bowl for us. I thank him for that. But he's definitely one of the most overrated and overpaid quarterbacks.
All right, Andy Gershman, Andy from the East Coast, chatting here. So I'll read this and pass this to you. He first of all says, Johnny Joe's a flag guy now, so I guess he's concerned about Martish's allegiance with the flag world. He says the Cowboys have dibs on Luck, and he wanted me to definitely emphasize that. And he threw in regards to the wins in Giant Stadium, excuses are for losers. So your response, Mr. Brill.
If Redskins fans want to talk about one game, the opening game, I understand. They haven't had something to be happy about since Mark Rippon was the quarterback, before any of Andy's kids were born, before probably some of my teammates were born.
Yeah, but so Andy's not a fan of the Redskins. He just writes blogs for them. But he'll claim that he's a Cowboys fan.
He'll claim that he's a Cowboys fan. That's wonderful too. Listen, he can be a fan for all these teams. The last team from the NFC to win a Super Bowl was the Giants.
That's true.
It's all about the ring. Daniel Snyder, is a smart businessman, but he couldn't run his team out of a paper bag. Jerry Jones built a beautiful stadium, but it takes more than a stadium to win games. And listen, if they want to blame that on Luck, whatever. They're 0-1, and that's all that matters. You are what your record says. I think that's what Bill Parcells once said. You are what your record says. Giants are 0-1, so are the Cowboys. The Cowboys should be pretty worried about their offensive line. Is Des Bryant going to stay, productive and not be a head case the whole year? How long before the Tony Romo distractions that happen? If you want to talk about a fly guy, talk about, doesn't he have another trip planned to, Mexico with Jason Witten or something like that, a romance vacation? I don't know.
Oh,
but the Cowboys don't really worry me. The Cowboys are, they talk a big game, but none of us are really, no Giant fan is really worried about the Cowboys winning anything big anytime soon.
All right, well, on that note, number 40 of the Jane Rebels, Yeshaya Bill.
And I say that to Coach Ty Rogers as well, if he's listening. Coach Rogers, we love you, but, the only star in the Cowboys is on their helmets, so,
All right, Mr. Brill, pleasure having you back on the program. We definitely
pleasure to be back.
We expect you to call in a lot more, and we look forward to seeing you on the field. Congratulations on the title last season, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yep, definitely. Looking forward to it, and keep up the great work, guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Be well.
Talk to you later. Peace.
That was Yishai Brill, number 40 of the Judean Rebels. Jesus. Big Mike chiming in, saying stuff I can't even say. Romo and Manning can blank, Sanchez is blank. Okay. On that note, we're going to bring up, we're going to take a commercial. When we come back, the All-IFL center of your Jerusalem Canes, Big Benjamin Bloch, right after this.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Chani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Chani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Chani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email chani@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.chanisgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Schutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the...
Yo, I ain't got no friends. Yeah, I'ma do this track. West Side, M.O.B., Bad Boy Killer.
Back here on Louis Live, and now, the All-IFL center of your Jerusalem Kings, Big Benjamin Bloch. Benjamin, how you doing tonight? Or today, excuse me.
What's good, Big Al?
Hey, man, I miss you. I also should introduce not only the All-IFL center, one of my best friends on planet Earth. We certainly miss you. It's been months since I've seen you, but everyone wants to know. They've been asking about you. How has the knee been healing at this point?
At this point, I'm glad to say that I just managed to get insurance. Health insurance. So, trying to get the scheduling for the surgery and see if they'll pay for it. And it hasn't actually bothered me too much.
Now, but, you're going to have surgery in a couple of months. Is that the plan?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully sooner.
Okay, hopefully sooner than that. And timetable as far as playing football again, how does that work? I imagine this season will be pretty much shot, but will you be able to come back next season, right?
I haven't really decided that. I'm not getting paid money here, so. But maybe, I'm kind of seeing what life's got to throw at me first.
I hear that. It's funny. Have you had talks with IFL MVP John Rubin? Because he's had injuries in his career and bounced back and played. So any discussions with John about this?
Maybe briefly. With the fact of the matter is that I'm an amateur athlete, and I have a family history of knee problems. My lady has 2 titanium knees. My dad's had a series of knee surgeries. And the question kind of comes down to, do I want to be able to walk when I'm in my 40s and 50s?
Yeah, walking's important, and of course, it's not the NFL, but the average NFL life expectancy is I believe 54. A lot of wear and tear. The NFL not the same, but it does add up at some point, so that's going to be obviously a consideration. I imagine. What have the doctors told you? You have a pretty good doctor. He's the doctor of the Seattle Seahawks, so he pretty good analysis of knee injuries. What did he tell you as far as timetable, risk, that kind of stuff?
I could go, in theory, from 6 months to playing again, in theory, from surgery, but I kind of want to see, how it feels. I want to feel it out. I want to, just be able to get out and play a little pickup basketball and kind of see how it feels in terms of pivoting. Your first step when you're an offensive lineman is huge, and if I can't make that first step the way I want to and make the blocks I want to, because my footwork's just limited, I wouldn't be of any value.
Absolutely. So definitely some things to consider, but we certainly miss you. Hope you would be able to come back to the NFL in some form. You've been coaching in the high school league. Certainly have a knack and talent for that. Have you thought about coming back and doing some coaching?
Not yet. At the moment, I'm kind of getting everything squared away for this knee surgery. I've been working on a couple of marketing projects around the Seattle area, trying to make some money while I'm in America, trying to get stronger. I just reached a new average for my bench press, 385. I'd like to be able to bench press like 450 before I play again because my legs are going to be a little more limited, but only time will tell.
Ben, you said you bench press 385 right now?
Yeah.
That's audience likes that. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Wow, 385. So you're doing this weightlifting with all your knee problems. I'll tell you what, we have a few minutes left, and, I don't want to bring you down because obviously you're a great friend of mine, but we got to talk about the Seahawks game last night. Well, what the hell happened there, Benjamin? I picked the Seahawks to win. What happened?
There's one positive that I want to take, which is that the Seahawks defense, for a defense that was on the field most of the game, held the 49ers 1 for 5 in the red zone. So I'm happy with the Seahawks defense. As far as what's going on the other end, there's a young offensive line that right now is getting demolished, but they're going to get better. It's going to be a rough start. It's going to be a rough, first third of the season, first half of the season. But they're going to get better. They're good players. They just got to get there. My only real complaint is Tavares Jackson. He can't throw the ball accurately for more than 7 yards. So even when he's given time, he can't make that throw downfield, or he can't, make that throw for a first down. The receiver has to get it on his own. And I think Pete Carroll made a mistake when he named him the starter. I didn't want to pick him up in the first place, but I think Pete Carroll made him the starter simply because he knew the terminology and he knew the playbook of the new offensive coordinator that he brought in. And that was a big mistake. The Seahawks backup, Charlie Whitehurst, is a much, much better passer. Both him and Jackson have been in the league for the same amount of years. And I think that they should have really let him duel it out for the job. And in fact, Sports Illustrated predicted that Tavares Jackson will not be a starter by the end of this season, and I completely agree with that. I would have liked to have seen the Seahawks maybe, I would have liked to have seen them pick up Kevin Kolb, who, of course, your beloved Arizona Cardinals picked up and got the victory. A good win over Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Well, that's what kind of scares me as a Cardinals fan, that the 1-15 Carolina Panthers, obviously they're different now with Cam Newton, but still, that game shouldn't have been close, and it is. That scares me a little bit. Cam Newton played great, and a lot of times rookie quarterbacks set out the entire year just to learn the offense and learn the game. He played great in his first game in the NFL. Some of the experts might be wrong about Mr. Cam. As far as the Seahawks, you know it's not good when Alex Smith outplays your quarterback. Alex Smith, QB rating of 90.4. T. Jackson, 78.3. Big Ben, how many wins are the Seahawks getting this season?
I honestly have no idea. I know it's going to be a rough first part of the season. Once that offensive line gels and these guys have gotten used to the playing speed, I think they'll be better. Right now, there's 2 rookies starting on the offensive line, and I don't think they've gotten used to the speed of the NFL. They've been playing in college with defensive tackles and defensive ends who run 40 times that are well over 5 seconds, and now all of a sudden they're faced with guys who run 4.4 to 4.9 40s, and the speed of the game, I think, has really hurt them. When you see defensive tackles in the backfield making a lot of plays for loss, you know you're in trouble, but they're going to get better. They have to get used to the speed of the game.
All right, Big Ben, I'll tell you, I love this because you're a great guy. People are concerned with you. People are chatting in with certain things that might help your knees. A gentleman chatted in and said to do leg extensions because he had knee problems. He used to serve in the Marines, and it worked well for him. So leg extensions, that's something you could do to help your knees. Just a suggestion being thrown at you.
I suppose. I don't know. I want to talk. When was the last time we talked some college ball?
Well, I'll tell you what, last question before we go. We have a few minutes with you. Notre Dame loses. They go 0-2. So I knew after the game where they lost to Southern Florida, I knew they were going to lose to Michigan because it's kind of a snowball. But it's your team's basically you're still a Washington fan, even though you went to U of A for 4 years. What do you like? Yes. What do you like out of the Washington scene?
I like the fact that Chris Polk is getting over 100 yards on the ground per game. He's going to be a dark horse for that All-American team. A great running back. A scholar of a kid. I'm not like amongst a sea of scandals. I like the fact that they have a good receiving core. My main concern for them is their defensive backs and their inability to defend against the pass. You know, your linebackers and your defensive line can only do so much for you by getting pressure on the quarterback. But if you're giving up long balls, that's what really concerns me. But looking ahead, next week there is a huge game. 2 of them, I believe. LSU versus Mississippi State on Thursday, and that would be, I believe, Friday morning in Israel. And on Saturday, the game of the week, number 1 Oklahoma versus number 6 Florida State.
That's going to be a great
Florida
game.
State I have picked to be a dark horse for the national title game. The Sooners are the first team to be ranked number 1 100 times. And it wouldn't surprise me if Florida State won that game.
Wasn't Alabama, didn't they set some record? They were ranked number 1 160 times, something like that. Do you happen to know?
No. Oklahoma was the first team to be ranked number 100 times.
Sorry about Oklahoma. Okay. So that's going to be a great game. I have Alabama. I went on a limb there and have Alabama winning the title. I just think they're, even though they lost.
Not going out on a limb. They got a lot of pro talent, but I think this is a year where there's going to be a lot of turnover from the power programs from the last couple years to new power programs. I think that you'll see former powerhouses like Nebraska and Florida State rising up to the top, and some of the more dominant SEC teams kind of getting into those mid-teens in terms of rankings. I think that South Carolina will win the SEC. Whether they win the national championship or not, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens come the heart of the SEC schedule.
All right, Big Ben, before we let you go, Big Mike Gondelman chatting in saying, roll tide. Would you like to give a message to Big E?
They're going to keep rolling. We're going to see what happens when that SEC conference schedule hits and it's week in, week out of the best college football in America and all the bumps and bruises that come with it.
All right, Big Ben, we missed you out here. We love you. Look forward to you to come back real soon. A lot of good times we shared on and off the field, and it was a pleasure having you on Louis Live tonight.
Always a pleasure to be on.
Thanks, man. Be well.
All right.
Big Benjamin Block of the Jerusalem Kings, the All-IFL Center. Good times. I really miss Ben. Sometimes you don't appreciate people until they're not around. But great guy. I look forward to him being back in Israel real soon. We'll take a quick break. When we come back from formerly of the Tel Aviv Sabres, Adam Zanu, after this. Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Mojave says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midreshet Devorah, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevorah.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devorah, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Everything seemed normal as the President's Secret Service bodyguards kept their ever-watchful eyes on the crowd. Everything seemed normal as the President's motorcade began its journey. Everything seemed normal. That is, up until this instant. What took place is so odd that we're going to examine the scene 4 more times. Watch the left side of your screen. The arrow points to Agent in Charge, Amory Roberts, as he stands in the Secret Service follow-up car and motions with his hand. What he is doing is calling away the President's 2 most important bodyguards, the bodyguards whose job was to protect the President's back by riding on the bumper of the limousine throughout the motorcade. Watch again as he stands and orders the agents running at the rear of the President's car away. Watch the confusion inside the follow-up car that results. Now watch the right side of your screen. The arrow points to one of 2 agents whose job was to hop aboard the bumper and act as human shields. He's obviously perplexed.
And the reason why I played the JFK conspiracy theory about the assassination back in 1963 is because my man on the phone now, in addition to being a great wide receiver, a bit of a conspiracy theory buff, that's Adam Zanu. Adam, how you doing tonight? Or today over there, excuse me.
Good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Now, you had a great season last year. I actually had you as the IFL MVP for the first 5 games, played great offense and defense. You then went to New York to pursue this broadcasting career. You're a nuts, crazy broadcasting guy like me. So are you still happy you made that decision?
Well, unfortunately, that was not my plan right now. I'm not working the same job that I came back for. It didn't really work out.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I'm in a different line of business right now. But trust me, a day doesn't go by where I don't think about playing in Israel and how it was the best thing I ever did.
So obviously you had some great moments and great times, fond memories. Any chance you might come back later on this year or next season?
It's not very likely. I'll definitely come back, but nothing permanent. I'll come back maybe for a week or two, and who knows? I can't really tell you what tomorrow brings.
Absolutely. Now, your former teammate, Joe Glickman, he's going to coach the Petah Tikva Troopers. When you were on the sidelines or practicing with Joe, did you think in your mind, hey, that's a guy that's a future IFL head coach, or IFL coach?
To be honest with you, not even a little bit. But I'm sure he knows he made the right decision because he did make the decision himself. So I think he'll do good. He has a good feel for the game, and I'm sure he'll teach the kids over there.
Absolutely, and it was a pleasure having Joe on last night. Now, your coach is back in Tel Aviv. Everybody from Coach Ross and Coach K, and you obviously had John Sharon last year. What did you learn from them that maybe you're taking into life now? You're not playing football right now, but just taking into life to help improve your life.
Just don't stop. During practice, it was always great listening to John give us all advice about how always trust each other and be a team, and it works out. When I left, we were undefeated, and previous season we won the championship. So he's saying something right.
Yeah, absolutely, a great coach and doing very, very well. Has a great postseason record. Now, you weren't on the ball club when they played in the title game last season, but just kind of being around the area, did you think that Coach K becoming a grandfather? Do you think that was a distraction to the team at all?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Do you think it was a distraction at all because you had Coach K becoming a grandfather near the postseason? Do you think that was a distraction to the team in their title run, to the title game?
No, I don't think so. I think we were focused the whole time, and nothing really could change that. We knew what our goal was, even if we came up a little short. I know they did well, and I was proud of them. I wish I could have been there, but they did a great job. I heard on the radio.
Yeah, they show the importance of you as a valuable component that. The team was, undefeated without you, and then after you left, they lost a couple of games. Obviously, you wish the team would have won, but any satisfaction whatsoever that you saw that the team was a little not the same without you?
No, not at all. I mean, I could have been replaced. Eric Spitzer was there; he did a great job, and he could have easily done what I did. It could have been anybody, but I definitely had faith in my team, and it came a little short.
Yeah, I noticed that with the Sabres, you had kind of a good transition from you to Eric Spitzer, and obviously when you became the main man, kind of the torch was passed from Evan Rushev to you. So is that kind of indication of John Sheridan's system that you kind of put people in there, and if they got some talent like yourself and an ability and a good football IQ, that they could be pretty successful?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately I was, I guess, one of a handful of guys who had experience playing, American tackle football, and, shared my knowledge with everyone else, and I was able to step up and make some plays and help the team go to 5-0.
Yeah, and again, it was a real thrill. In particular, I remember we did a broadcast of the game, first game of the season, where you had the interception to seal the game, and again, like I mentioned, you play both offense, defense. So that interception, the kind of the home run play. Take us back to that play, because it was a big reason why the Sabres had the number 1 seed to begin with, and why they were able to defeat the Pioneers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I told Coach Larry that if he needed me to play safety for the last play, because I could jump pretty high and get up with the receivers of the Pioneers, and that's what he did. He put me in, and I noticed I was in for 2 plays actually. The first play, I think something happened, but then they were in the same exact place. I kind of knew what was going to happen. So I remember seeing the ball just kind of float up. I was like, I'm definitely getting that. So I ran forward, jumped in front of him, and I think I got like a 2-yard gain on the return, but it's irrelevant compared to
That's
the ball
right.
back into the game.
Yeah, because again, that sealed the game. And last minute here before we let you go, I want you to talk a little bit about Coach Ross, because I mentioned somewhat on last night's broadcast. Kind of tough background, came from Compton, and works with the military now here in Israel for the United States. And that man's handshake, let me tell you, I have not felt a handshake like that. I have to put my hand in ice after unshaking Coach Ross's hand. So talk about his toughness, what he adds to the Sabres.
Yeah, the military man. Coach Mike definitely put the fear in our eyes during practice. So it was getting in our faces and giving us a lot of crap. But it was all in the end, it was worth it, and we played harder because of it. And every team needs someone like him to kick us in the ass.
Absolutely. Last question, Adam, before we let you go. Have you heard any good conspiracy theories lately?
Conspiracy theories.
By the way, for the fans who are listening, I love to tease.
I've been really busy.
I love to tease Adam about this stuff because I'm a bit of a conspiracy theory buff, and so it's all good fun teasing with Adam. So don't take it personally, Adam. So no.
No. If I have any, I'll let you know if I find anything out.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate that. All right, Adam Zanu, a former Tel Aviv Sabre player. Thanks so much for being on Louis Live tonight.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, be well. That was Adam Zanu. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, Big Mike Gottleman of your Jerusalem Canes right after this.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Chani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Chani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Chani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email chani at netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.chanisgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
On the line now, from your Jerusalem Canes and proud Jets fan,
Big Mike Gottleman. Biggie, how you doing tonight?
Thank the good Lord, I'm doing much better than Andy, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the 50-yard field goal right at the end. Honestly, Big Mike, when the Jets were down 14 points in the fourth, do you think you thought they were going to pull that out?
You know, I'll tell you like this. I didn't think it, but I was sure praying for it.
The davening worked out.
See, I just read an article today that said like Bill James has got this whole like thing on like, statistical probability of wins versus losses at any given point. So I don't know the formula, but apparently at the start of the fourth quarter, the Jets were 96% were going to lose.
Right.
96% of the times. To the point that up until like 3 minutes left to go, we were still over 90% that we were going to lose.
Well, usually you see a team down 14 points in the fourth, and especially with the way the game is kind of going, Romo seemed to be flowing pretty well. It looked pretty distraught for the JTS Jets, but they persevere and come through. Is just a testament to Rex Ryan's coaching style and character?
Right, this definitely does. I mean, listen, the fact of the matter is there's no quitting the Jets, just like last year there was no quitting the Kings. Mm-hmm. You gotta love a team with heart. You gotta love a team with honor.
Absolutely. Now, Mark Sanchez, this is his third year, and I was critical of Mark last season, but he got some of my respect in the postseason, played very, very well. Is this going to be somewhat of a breakout year for Marky Mark?
I believe it will be. Like, you saw some of the throws that he was throwing. It was just like even the pass rush that Dallas was giving him was amazing. Like, I mean, it showed that the Jets' offensive line is not as good this year as it was last year. That's one. Right, but you know what you saw, though, is like he was still stepping into throws even though he knew he was going to get hit. And it was like last year he wasn't doing that. And it's like he's finally starting to play like an NFL quarterback.
Absolutely.
And I think it's beautiful.
Now, they pick up Plaxico Burress in the offseason. Some people question that move because of the 2-year layoff, was in prison. He's 34 years old. But he caught the touchdown that brought the Jets to tie with the Cowboys. So looks right now to be a good move. What do you expect out of Plaxico this season?
Well, I'll tell you like this. If he plays like he did last night, I expect a lot out of him. Last night in the second half, he kind of like said, you know what, I'm saying that I'm the man.
Yeah.
And, he had that hit on was it 21 in Dallas that just like laid him out. I never saw. Now Braylon Edwards, for all his drops and everything else, is still known as one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. I never saw Braylon Edwards ever lay a hit on somebody like that.
Yeah, I like Plaxico's swagger. Obviously, he's got a lot to prove with the situation with happened to him playing with the Jets. What were your thoughts? He used to play, obviously, in the crosstown rivals with the Giants. Was somewhat critical. He was disappointed the Giants didn't have his back and chose to go with the Jets. We've heard in the past some of the Giants players kind of say, yeah, I would like to play for Rex Ryan. What are your thoughts about, again, the popularity of Rex Ryan?
I mean, listen, you gotta love a coach that no matter what, he's got your back.
True.
You know what I mean? And it's like, he's the kind of guy that he's always going to have a player's back. Like, you don't even see his former players saying, like, stuff that was bad. Like a guy like, Sean Ellis, right?
Right.
Like, when he got, when he went to the Patriots, he wasn't blasting Ryan. He was blasting Tannenbaum.
That's true.
It was like guys love playing for Rex Ryan.
Now, but didn't Rex Ryan have somewhat of an issue with him leaving to go to the Patriots?
You did. You mean to tell me that, you spend 12 years, fighting up against this particular team, that's your main rival, and then all of a sudden you're going to go to them?
Right.
Which doesn't make sense to me personally. I don't understand it. It's like if Bill Belichick was Al Davis, everybody would be like, what are you doing? This is like the greatest offensive line in 2005, but this is 2011.
Right. Now, the Jets, of course, their main key to beating the Patriots in the postseason was their running attack. What do you think about the running attack this season?
Well, I'll tell you like this. We got to get back to that ground and pound. They were talking about Sanchez throwing the ball 40-something times. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like what made the Jets so great is that we controlled the clock. We didn't force Sanchez to do too much, and then it was just like, and we had a great defense. You look at the time possession, the defense was on the field way more than the offense. There was no real running game. I mean, I wasn't impressed by the numbers. I wasn't impressed by even when they did run.
It was. I went through the box score at the beginning of the program, and it was kind of weird because everything is pretty even. Except the Cowboys had one more turnover, and there was that fluke play, of course, where the Jets blocked the punt. Really, that
was not a fluke play. That was beautiful. You're looking at it, and it was just like you've got three guys to block. You got two guys to block three, right? Westhoff knew exactly what he was doing. That's why Westhoff is considered the best special teams coach in the NFL. And he was just like, listen, and what does he do? He puts his three fastest guys right there. So if whichever one of those three gets free, they're going to block that kick. You know, who gets free is McKnight, who's like, you know, he's like a 4'1", 4'2", 40.
I'll tell you something, Erie, speaking, staying with the special teams, they had 6 punts apiece. The average punt, 39.3 for the Cowboys, 39.8 for the Jets. So kind of Erie, again, a very similar game. But the Cowboys have an advantage, time of possession to 7 minutes. But like you mentioned, the special teams gave the Jets the boost. And I suppose to win the title, they're going to need all 3 components to fire on the same cylinder.
100%. You know, I mean, listen, I firmly believe that we made a couple of snafus in the off season. One of which was letting Brad Smith go. You know, I really think that we're going to regret that. I really think we're going to regret, you know, not shoring up that offensive line, you know, with our backups and everything else. I think we're going to be in trouble with that. Wayne Hunter proved today, last night, that, you know what, he's not the answer. You know, we're going to miss Damian Woody. It's going to be a rough season, you know. I mean, I'm hoping like that we win it all, but it's like I don't feel strong and good about his offensive line as I did last year.
Now, Annie, I'm sure, is listening, so I'll give you an opportunity to talk about Tony Romo's debacle in the fourth. Was that simply because Tony Romo can't make it in the clutch, or is it something different or special that the Jets adjusted to?
You know, there were a lot of adjustments that they made to Tony Romo, but part of the problem with Tony Romo is, like, you know, physically, he's a phenomenal quarterback. You know, nobody questions, like, his physical skills. They always question his mental skills, and they question it for a reason. You know, it's like, you know, like, what's his face? You know, Brill was talking about Mark Rippon before, but Mark Rippon was never the same after he got that big hit on him.
Right.
You know, and I was like, Romo hasn't been the same since he botched the field goal.
Yeah, I think there's something there. I think there's some psychology to that, because Romo's a guy, he overall still had a pretty good game. QB rating over 100, 23 for 36, almost 350 yards. But this is a guy that plays great in between the 20s, cannot finish in the red zone, and the guy plays great for 3.5 quarters and somehow, some way, botches it in the fourth, it appears like.
Right. I mean, listen, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time was a guy by the name of Bobby Lane. Ask Detroit fans about him. You know? It was like Bobby Lane couldn't throw the ball 50 yards, but he just knew how to win, and Detroit hasn't won since he left.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, some guys just know how to win.
Now, we talk about the running game and your concerns. Sean Green and LaDainian Tomlinson combined 15 carries for 42 yards, so some concern. LT, is he done? I mean, last year had a couple of good games and had a couple touchdowns in the postseason, but obviously up in age. What do you think about LaDainian and Tomlinson?
I'll tell you like this. He showed a lot of flashes last night that, you know what, he still got it. But you want to know something, though? Last year, you saw in the first half of the season, he was much better than he was in the second half.
Right, tired out.
You know, it's like he's got it, but you can't run him too much. Like, I really think that we should have went after a third running back. You know, like someone else to take some of the pressure off of Sean Green. Now, the first year when we went to the AFC Championship and we lost it, we had Thomas Jones and Sean Green, you know, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I personally believe we would have beat Indianapolis, providing Sean Green didn't get injured. But it's like, you know, there needs to be that double thing. Like Kansas City last year had Thomas Jones and, you know, Jamal Charles. You know, that's a great tandem. That's what you need in the NFL nowadays. And quite frankly, LaDainian's too old to keep that up. And I don't know if Sean Green's ready.
Is LaDainian even a third down back in this league? Can he come in on third downs, or do you have to use him even more sparely than that?
No, I think he's a third down back.
Okay.
I think he's still in good enough shape to be that. But if you use him too much, you're going to wear him down.
Now, this might shock you, believe it or not, and I'm not doing this to appease you or anything, but I will be honest with you. On Thursday night, I made my Super Bowl predictions. I did pick the Jets to be in the Super Bowl against the Saints and the Jets to be victorious. You seem, though, and you have a lot of confidence in the Jets and love the Jets, but you seem to be a little shaken in your confidence this year. So far, what are you seeing in the ball game against the Cowboys?
Because I'll tell you why. The Cowboys are a 6-10 team. I mean, let's call it spade a spade. This is a rebuilding year for Dallas. Right? And you know, it's not just this. It's like I'm watching the preseason game, you know, it's like the Jets number ones against the Giants number ones, and I'm just like, you know, the defense it just didn't seem like the way it was the last couple of years. You know, it's like, it's a long season. It really is. And I really, you know, with everything I got in my heart, I want the Jets to win it all. You know me.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know, but realistically speaking, like, I don't know, we just seem to be a weaker team at this moment. And I mean, listen, I'll tell you like this, all it takes is a great run. Like last year, Atlanta got beat in the first game, then they won 13 of the last 15.
Right.
So we'll see what happens, you know.
All right, now moving over to Israel football. You're, of course, big member of the Jerusalem Kings. And the Kings, again, like you mentioned, had a tough season last year, but showed a lot of heart fighting in every game. The Kings so far have been having some tryouts practices. What do you see so far out of the Jerusalem Kings?
I like the squad we got so far. We got a lot of good guys. We have a lot of talent. It's like we got to revamp the offensive line. Like we lost Avi Shermack. He went to the Army.
Right.
We lost Ben for the knees. Ellie's moved back to the States. So it's like we got to revamp the offensive line, but it's, we're bringing back the same size of the guys, and, they're learning very well, and they love to hit. So I'm feeling very good about the offense. It's like we got a bunch of wide receivers who are looking good. We got a quarterback who can get him the ball.
Now, is Ellie Skolnick still quarterbacking this year?
Well, as far as I know, unless something's changed.
All right.
And
So
even
he's come back.
and even if he doesn't, we got a couple other guys who know how to swing the ball, so we can move Ellie over to a wide receiver. Ellie was our top wide receiver before Josh got hurt, and then.
Well, I'll tell you, Moshe Shore's got one heck of an arm, and you guys came very close to beating the Jerusalem Lions last year, partly because Shore's bombs. Any thought about, especially those halfback options, about starting Moshe Shore as quarterback?
I'll tell you like this: I'm not the coach, so I'm not going to lay any claim on that one. But Moshe's a good guy. He's a good player.
Absolutely.
But Moshe's hard as defense, though. You know what I mean?
Sure. Great defensive player. He was an all-star as a defensive player in the IFL. And Terry Hill is taking over. He's sponsoring the Jerusalem Kings. He's got a lot of football experience, obviously, coaching at Temple. What has Terry Hill brought to the table?
I'll tell you like this. Terry Hill has definitely brought a lot, not just experience. He's also got a lot of connections. So he's helped us out with, he's brought in a couple of coaches, he brought in one guy who played in the NFL. He brought in, some other guys, guys who coached in college and the such. And he was just like, hey, let me help you with this and let me help you with that. It's like, guys who showed us a lot of pointers that you don't normally get within the IFL.
Sure. Absolutely. Now, it's funny. I want you to talk about the connections. That made me pause for a moment because it's amazing to think about this guy's connections because he was at Temple, a top football school, not elite, but very, very good. Talk about those connections. What are some people he's brought in to help out the Jerusalem Kings?
I mean, wow, you're asking me to name names. I'm like, it's a little late on me. I was up last night watching the Jets. It's like
well, it's not a confidence trial. You don't got to call people out or put anybody out there, but. I mean, we're talking about people he's helped. Is he brought in, let's say, former college athletes or former college coaches?
No. He brought in a couple of guys who did coaching on the college level. He brought in one guy who played in the NFL, and
wow,
he basically brought him in to help out the kicking game because he was a punter, and for Tampa Bay, whatever. So it's like we definitely had the benefit, and being the fact that Terry's got a lot of years of coaching experience himself. It's definitely brought in this beautiful aspect to it.
Wait, but Terry Hill himself was a punter, or he brought in a punter from time to time?
No, he brought in a temp.
Brought in a punter. Yeah,
but Terry Hill himself has got a lot of coaching experience, so that's definitely, it's definitely helped out a lot.
Oh, that man knows his football, and we had him in studio. It was a pleasure a couple of months ago, and it was just a lot of fun. And the kicking game, I mean, it's not something the IFL does a lot, but if someone could master the kicking game, we see time and time again when teams are in the field goal range, but no one can kick a field goal on their squad. They have to go for it, turn the ball over, or they have to go for 2 points because no one can kick the extra point.
But so part of the problem with the kicking game in the IFL is that nobody knows how to lift the ball. Everybody shoots, kicks the ball straight.
Right.
And
you can't kick it over.
Yeah, it's like you're just going to hit people in the back. It's like you're hitting your own offensive line when you kick the ball.
Well, I think another thing too, you have again in the NFL 11-on-11. When you have 8-on-8, you have to have the guy hold it and a guy snap it. So the rush, the advantages to the defense, really you have to toss the ball back. I'd say 15 yards to really get some space. What are your thoughts?
I hear that. Part of the problem isn't just about the space. It's part of it is just like the lack of knowledge. What it means to be a kicker. It's like you have guys in this league who can boot the ball real far, but they just don't have the technical knowledge and aiming and so on and so forth. What do you see when you see punting? Everybody punts it high or punts it far. Nobody knows how to directionally punt here. Nobody knows how to kick with any accuracy.
Right. And
it's a skill that needs to be worked out.
Sure, if they get that down, you can set up field position. Big Mike, before we let you go, tell everyone out there if they want to join the Jerusalem Kings, how they can get in touch with the team or get in touch with yourself.
Well, if they want, they can get in touch with with the Jerusalem Kings on Facebook. We're on Facebook at the Jerusalem Kings. They can call me, at 0526-999-878. Again, 0526-999-878. Listen, I'm very proud of our squad. We're looking beautifully. Practicing hard, getting ready for the season.
Good stuff, man. And we certainly appreciate you being on Louis Live tonight. And hey, go Jets!
There you go, baby.
All right, Big Mike, thanks so much, man.
All right, all the best.
Big Mike Gondelman of the Jerusalem Kings. I didn't even get a chance to speak to him about coming out of retirement and playing. He is going to be playing this year and is in pretty good shape. My understanding, he's under 400 pounds. So we'll have to talk. Well, don't worry, we'll have Big Mike on again. But definitely appreciate Big Mike from the Jerusalem Kings coming on. And you heard what he said. He has a lot of advantages. There's a lot of advantages having Terry Hill, a former Temple coach, with the ball club. We're going to take a commercial break. Final segment of Louis Live after this.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Yidreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at yidreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Yidreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Back here on Louis Live, quick programming notes before we open up the phone lines tomorrow. Huge show as always. Brandon McDougall, the Beersheba Black Swarm, Chen Duron, Saeed Al-Bulafia, and Corey Zinker, along with his brother Adam Zinker, will be on at the beginning of the show. So, huge show tomorrow night on Louis Live. Everyone should stay tuned at 10 o'clock IST Israel Standard Time. We're now going to open up the phone lines from the Holy Land. You can give me a call at 02-563-1492, or from the Old Country, from North America, 301-850-2484. So that's the Old Country in Canada. And it looks like we have a telephone call. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on, Yossi G? What would you like to talk about tonight? I have a funny feeling. I think I know what it is, but go ahead.
Oh, let's see. Notre Dame losing on Saturday.
Oh, God. You know what? At least I called it. I'm an honest Notre Dame fan. I knew after loss to Southern Florida they were going to lose in Michigan in the Big House. I didn't think they'd lose the way they did. That was a disaster. Where to even begin with something like that? Do Can't fire Brian O'Kelly because you just gave him that contract, so I think the Irish fans are stuck with him for a few years.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be stuck with him, but I think the one thing that they really need to shore up first and foremost is defense. They proved on Saturday they can score, and they can score fast.
Yes.
But where did the defense go in the second half? I have no idea.
Well, Rees played great. They substituted Chris in favor of Rees, and you have some wide receiving talent with the Fighting Irish. I guess the defense is the answer. A couple of free plays in the first ball game with the fumble, a recovery for a touchdown. But I guess at the end of the day, they say defense wins championships, and defense also wins games of the regular season too. So Notre Dame needs to recruit maybe a little bit defensively next season.
Yes, and they will do well to start showing game film, as to how you're supposed to tackle. You don't just bump people to try to hit them out of bounds. You actually got to grab them and take them down.
It's not
right. As you just said, defense wins championships, and yeah, I see you're trying to egg me into talking about the Jets game a little bit. But before we get to that, how about opening night with New Orleans and Green Bay? It was just what the NFL wanted.
Yeah.
High-scoring game, two teams both having quarterbacks with weapons, and I have no idea where my boy went, but Clay Matthews was virtually not on the field. And between the two defenses, it was as if everybody just decided we're going to go out for a picnic, going to go out for lunch, and just let the offenses have a good time.
Yeah, apparently.
And after the first, in the first quarter, Clay Matthews and his boys, they all, A.J. Hawk and everybody, they came up with the big turnover there, and that really proved to be the difference in the game. It was one turnover, that was it.
Well, and A.J. Hawk is huge. He was one of the X factors I had for the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl victory. You have two of the better quarterbacks in the league, probably two of the top five, in Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. Drew Brees, of course, in my fantasy squad, so happy he played a good game. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to stop. He's in the prime of his career. He's 27 years old, I believe, 27, 28. Just won a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. And he might turn out to be better than Brett Favre when it's all said and done. So I didn't pick the Packers. I had the Saints going to the Super Bowl because they were the Super Bowl champions 2 years ago. Wouldn't be shocked if the Packers made it there. So you had a great offensive game on Thursday night. What did you notice from the NFL weekend on Sunday?
Well, what I noticed was one thing was interesting, that the first games, I know everybody slated Pittsburgh and Baltimore to be a slugfest, but it got so boring after the first quarter, and I saw what was going on the Baltimore side of things. I actually tuned into the Rugby World Cup and watched the U.S. get blasted by Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was that bad.
I got.
Wow, that's pretty insane, USG. Goodness gracious. Well, the thing is, I thought that was going to be the best game of the weekend. I was sorely mistaken, but at least I had the correct team winning. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to the playoffs. I said that numerous times already. I'll say it numerous times later on. Generally, a team that loses in the Super Bowl does not come back well the following year. Baltimore would be my dark horse. I had the Jets going to the Super Bowl, but I was tempted to pick the Ravens. I think this is Ray Lewis's last shot to go to the Super Bowl. And he definitely is still at a very, very high level. He's a little past his prime, but still one of the best defensive linebackers currently and, of course, of all time.
Yeah, you take one look at how he plays the game. Yeah, you could argue that he perhaps lost, I would not even say a step, maybe a half a step in his game. But at the end of the day, he's like the typical defense of Baltimore. They don't give up much. He does not give up much. He will find other ways to compensate for what he may be lacking or for what he lost over the course of his tenure in the NFL. And at the end of the day, he is the emotional leader of that team. He's there. He will fire up the guys. If he can't go out there and do it, he will get somebody else on his team inspired enough to do the job and then some. And with Baltimore, with what they have, Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis, and you go up and down the lineup and on the defensive side, and in addition to Flacco and what they have on the offensive side of the coin, this is a team that is primed for another run, another deep playoff run. I wouldn't be surprised if they do make it to the AFC Championship game, and if not beyond that.
Yeah, I probably would pick them to go to the AFC title game. And the thing about Ray Lewis, he has a knack to be like a point guard in that he makes the other players on his defensive squad better. Plus, I throw this out time and time again, he is the only guy I can think of that is a defensive player who is also the face of the franchise. If I say Colts, Peyton Manning. I say Patriots, Tom Brady. If I say Arizona.
If I say Brian Urlacher.
The Bears?
I say Bears.
Maybe a few years ago. Now I would still say Jay Cutler, for whatever reason in my mind. But probably 2006, from like 02 to 06, I hear that point. Yeah, Brian Urlacher. The last, though, 10 to 15 years. Actually, I tell you what, the Bears, I might even, when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, I might even say Devin Hester, because he just was phenomenal.
The X Factor.
The kickoff return. Yossi G, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I don't know if you checked out the story, but I want to get your thoughts if you did. Phil Jackson was called out by Jerry West, saying Phil never respected him. What are your thoughts about that story?
I didn't hear too much details on it, but, you get into all this little sort of, backlash and talking. Everybody, once you're not on the team anymore, suddenly it's as if you can open up, that can of worms, Pandora's box, and just let loose your feelings. Why isn't it that these people, why do they go to the media? Why don't they just take their situations, take their issues, and deal with it behind closed doors, and just let your frustrations out in front of each other, face to face? Be a man.
Yeah, I mean,
to the guy into his face.
Well, the crazy thing about all that is Phil Jackson wrote that tell-all book, the 2004 Lakers, A Team in Search of His Soul, and gave out all these juicy private things and to be somewhat taboo. And then Torrey, of course, writes a tell-all book about stuff in the locker room. I always thought the locker room was a sacred place, that you didn't reveal secrets, that stuff stayed there, stuff was said there and stayed there, and we were in a different era.
Yeah, I certainly don't want, somebody from the New York Rangers to start writing about locker room stuff from the past season that happened. I don't want to be in that book, that he would write. So yes, no doubt, everybody who has always been under the presumption and assumption that what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, till death do you part. But with the advent, or rather with the forefront as to what Twitter and Facebook and all the other social medias and have taken us to, as well as the people just wanting information, sponging that information, desiring that, it kind of pushes people over the edge, over that border, that line that you should not cross or has not been crossed ever in the past, to an unknown territory, and thereby it will, once you reach that sort of position that now these people find themselves in, the backlash from that is there's no real measuring stick to understand what it will happen from this, that these secrets, so to speak, that are now let loose.
Yossi G, one last question before we got to end the program. Monday Night Football tonight. Not going to really talk about the Denver-Oakland game because I don't care. I want to talk about the real Monday Night Football game, Patriots in Miami. Who do you like and the score?
I'm going to take New England over Miami. At the end of the day, even though you take one look at Bill Belichick's teams, his golden years teams in the early 2000s, they were the team that didn't say much, that just put their money out on the field, put their, walk the walk, as opposed to talking the talk that the Bengals were known for. They go ahead and actually win. And now that sort of sideshow has come into town with Albert Hainsworth and Chad Ochocinco, and in the past, you had Randy Moss, and now he's gone. But what I do like about New England is that they go out and they find people. It's like the Detroit Red Wings in the NHL. They go and they get these late draft picks. They know how to work the draft, know how to work the players that they have, know what ticks them, knows how to push the buttons, which buttons to push at which specific times. Now, with Miami, yes, they went ahead and they updated their team, which they really, really needed to do. They go out, they get people, but the problem with the Dolphins is, at the end of the day, they are still the Dolphins. They're a team that, comes December time, just like the Cowboys of late, they're rather Tony Romo, 3.5 quarters. There isn't so much that they really leave out on the field. It's kind of they pack themselves up and say, okay, we're going home. But to start the season, it should be a fun game in Miami, but I have New England coming out on top. I'm going to go here with about, call it 4 plus.
Well, give us a score, Yossi G. What will be the final
score? All right, 31-24.
31-24, New England Patriots. Yossi G, thanks for calling in to Louis Live tonight.
You got it.
All right. That ends our show. What a great show we had. Want to thank all our guests. Batsala Freeman, head coach of the Judean Rebels. Yeshaya Brill, defensive star, number 40, for the IFL champions. Adam's new former Tel Aviv Sabre coach and great wide receiver and defensive player for Tel Aviv last season. Big Benjamin Bloch, all-IFL center of the Jerusalem Canes. We certainly miss Benjamin here in Israel. Big Mike Gottleman of the Jerusalem Canes and loyal Jets fan as well. Great show tomorrow night. As I mentioned, the Zinker brothers, Corey and Adam, will be on the program. Syed Abulafia. We're going to have Ken Narone, Brandon McDougall, and working on some other things, so certainly stay tuned for that. And that's it for tonight. It's all right. God bless, and good night.